Hey, I'm Ann Wilson, the Wealth Chef, and today I want to talk about the difference between saving versus investing. This is such an important distinction to understand, and certainly when I started my journey, I thought they were one of the same. We've got a financial industry, banks, media will talk about, investing to pay for your kids' education or saving for your retirement. And so we can get super confused, but it's so important to understand because saving is not the same as investing, and investing is not the same as saving. So the really key thing to understand is you need both of these actions, this doing in your wealth journey, but they serve very different purposes. Now, the very first thing you need to be doing with your money allocation, and this is in your money management, is you need to be investing. You need to be paying yourself first, this really key concept. And that means some of all the money you make needs to stay in your life. So it comes in, you keep that money, it doesn't get spent, and then it gets allocated and put to work in the form of some kind of asset. It gets invested. Investing means that that money is converted into one of the 4 primary asset classes, so it can work for you. So investing means money comes in, and for that you control assets, and then assets grow in value for you. They then do the work. They grow in the capital value of the underlying asset, be it investment property, be it stocks and shares, be it low input businesses. And you also get wealth from it in terms of income that it generates. So investing, really important. I want to come back to the pots, but you want your investment pot to be your biggest pot because that's going to grow off. Now the key thing is, I'll come back to what we do down the line. The second action you do is also keep another chunk of money that comes into your life. Yes, 2 different things. And this chunk of money goes towards your saving. Now here's the big kicker. You keep money in your life in terms of saving with the intention to spend that money down the line. So you're keeping money and it goes into your savings pot. Yeah, that's what this pot's all about. With the intention that you're going to spend that money. So you might be saving for a deposit for an investment property. You might be saving to buy a car, saving for a holiday to take your family, saving for a wedding, saving for your kids' education. You see, you're keeping money now in order to spend it later. Now inside this pot, it might grow a little bit, it might earn some interest, you might even get it working for you in the form of some assets, but the intention is that this money is going to be spent. So you might go, well, and hang on, what about the investing? If the investing is about feeding off and creating my financial freedom, surely I spend it at some time in the future? No, and that's what's so exciting. This is the big difference, but we've got to start understanding what financial freedom is. And financial freedom is when you've got this big pot of assets, these pile of different assets that you feed off, not by consuming it and spending that money that you've now saved. Because remember, you've converted these into assets. So down the line in terms of your freedom, you feed off what your assets earn. And this is this huge shift that we have to make. We've got to go from thinking about earning money that we then consume, instead to thinking about how do we create assets that do the earning, that do the growing in value, because we then feed off that. So really, when you think about investing, that's like going off to the market and buying a whole lot of seeds that you then plant. You plant in your big garden, and those are seeds. Some of them will grow into fruit trees, some of them will grow into different veggies, but all of these will grow, and then you feed off those plants, but you let the plant keep growing. Versus your saving, you go off and you buy those seeds, but you actually consume those seeds, you eat off those seeds, and that is the big difference, the difference between saving versus investing. And you need both in order to really look after your financial well-being. Because if you're not saving, then what's going to happen, those bigger expenses are going to come along, and you're going to either end up robbing your asset pot, which is fatal because that's how you destroy your freedom, or you're going to end up using debt. So you need to be planning for those bigger expenses that come along, and that's why at least 10% of everything you earn needs to be going to the saving pot. And then you're investing, this is all about your freedom, and this you look after, you grow, and you protect. And both of these things make sure that you have a great relationship with money, that your financial well-being is looked after, and your intermediate and your long-term financial needs are at absolutely sorted. So there you have it, a really important distinction, understanding the difference between saving versus investing. And yes, you want your investment pot to be really big, because after all, you want to be living a big, juicy life, doing all of those fun things. So let me know in the comments below, do you have both saving and investing? And I hope it's a big yes. And if not, which is the pot you want to get started with first? And here's a hint. The assets you need to get going. So you need to be investing, because assets create your freedom. And if you're only saving and spending, you're never going to create freedom. And so my name's Ann Wilson. And if you're watching this anywhere over than at thewealthchef.com, head on over there, leave your comments, and also check out the other resources available for you, all designed for you to create a great, healthy relationship with money and learn how to get money working hard for you, so you can get off and live the life that you really want with money serving you.